In 2016, around February, I started experiencing symptoms that I thought was bronchitis. My situation worsened so much, it took me about 45 minutes just to walk up the stairs. When that happened, my husband took me to the emergency and I was hospitalized. And it was, I believe, a few hours later that they finally realized I had heart disease. I have what's called cardiomyopathy. It's where your heart doesn't pump as efficiently as a regular heart. It also usually means that your heart's a little enlarged. When I first got the diagnosis, I was in complete denial. And even though I had a family history of heart disease, I just thought I was way too young to have any heart condition. I was feeling so incredibly guilty because I was pregnant and I would cough and cough and cough, and my breath would just be gone for a few seconds. And I would clutch my stomach and pray over my baby, who I call Boppy. And the doctors kept saying, "We don't know if you're going to be able to carry your baby." I was on my way to getting maternity clothes. I was finally getting bigger. I was already picking out outfits. I knew I was having a girl. I had dreams about Boppy.
You know, being a husband, wanting to protect her, wanting to protect my baby, and knowing that there was so little that I could do. I think that was the most powerless I have ever felt in my life.
That was when I really realized I've reached the end. It was my life at stake. It was a death sentence if I continued to carry my child. It, I think, is probably the hardest decision that I have ever made in my entire life.
You know, obviously we lost our baby in March, so couldn't go back and do that over again. It was all really scary. But it wasn't until after she actually had the surgery and it went well, she came out of it and started to see that she felt better, she felt more energetic. I think that's when I started to really have hope that maybe there was a sense of normalcy on the other side of all of the terror that we had experienced. And I remember thinking, okay, life will never be the same, but at least it can be good.
I feel like I still am a miracle. The very fact that I was diagnosed and you know, I'm here, standing here today. You know, I could have been dead. I'm just being crazy here, but I'm hoping that people who are diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, you know, one day a woman won't have to have that impossible burden, have that impossible choice, because we're going to be able to have the technology out there.
Our story is a miracle. Miracles today are miracles of technology. The work that the American Heart Association is doing is hoping to progress that technology and those miracles for people just like us.
I'm really thankful to the American Heart Association because my defibrillator is actually an example of what they do. They fund research to make sure people like me can live a wonderful life.